Walter, how good to see you again. Let's start our conversation with a general question. As CEO for Avolta Northern, Central and Eastern Europe, what do you see as the biggest opportunities and challenges facing airport F&B in these regions?
First, thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me as well. I really appreciate it. We are here in Helsinki at the ACI Commercial Forum, and what I see in food and beverage, I always love to talk about the opportunities. And the opportunities are that we need to provide a sense of place to airport environments, bringing local or regional concepts to airports in combination, of course, with international brands, with local chefs and local heroes, and providing this really authentic feeling. And we do this in many places around Europe, but also around the globe. If I also look at opportunities for our businesses, that people want to travel, and I see a lot of tendency. The air travel is really well recovered in most of the airports in Europe. We saw this today in the ACI presentation. Of course, some airports have some challenges still, but in general, people want to travel. And in the end, I think the opportunity there is to provide relevant concepts and relevant offerings in order to make people spending more in food and beverage and retail at the airports. Challenges overall, I can say, one of the challenges, of course, is that the airport taxis is not helping us. Air travel is more expensive, so what you see, if you travel as a family, you need to spend more for your airline ticket. And then, of course, if you have so much money to spend for vacation or other things, then you see also there are some shifts. The economic situation is also not always helpful. And the biggest challenge we have, frankly speaking, is to be an attractive workplace for people. And today we wait quite long in certain cases on airport passes, so to be attractive for employees, and then subsequently to retain those employees. We lost a lot of people, especially in the hospitality industry during COVID, and now of course recovering, but it's still some way to go.
Now, Club Avolta seems like a very sensible commercial decision from Avolta, integrating all retail and F&B. It's not really rocket science, but what difference do you think it will make to your overall operations?
Yeah, we believe with the launching of Club Avolta, we're the only company actually in the travel business who can combine food and beverage, retail and convenience stores, where people can earn points, but also subsequently will have premium offers or member offers or even discounts in our stores. And I think no other company in the industry can do that. And aside of that, I think you will gain loyalty with your members, of course.
Definitely.
And then, of course, we will get a lot of data and we can personalize offers. And in the end, increase the spend per passenger. But I also want to emphasize, which is very important, that our app and our program is also designed to fully integrate with airports. So we can link this to different airport activities they have and marketing activities in order to increase the pie, and not that maybe some people think there is only on our own program. I think it's fully integrated. So I think that's very good to emphasize on that.
It's certainly an extra dimension, that's for sure.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, just developing this, how do you set about fostering and further collaboration within Avolta, especially when entering new markets?
Today we are now a big group with a lot of different skill sets, of course, with retail, food and beverage. We also have people from the convenience sector as well. Innovation for us is core of our Destination 27 program. And we have special innovation programs, innovation labs, where we do as a group, combined with different parts of the company, evaluating new ideas and new models in order to test in our companies, in our operations around the globe. And of course, with innovation, there's always a lot of things which are out there. Some of them will succeed, some of them will maybe not succeed, or if it's too early. But in the end, if you don't try, you don't get to a result. But I think the more fundamental...
So you're prepared to risk?
Yeah, correct. But the most important, I think, fundamental part is as a leadership of the company, starting by our group CEO and our chief digital officer, but also finance officers, our regional presidents. We really we're really pushing this innovation. I think if it don't come from the top and it's not emphasized, it don't go down to the company. So I think we are in a very good path on that. And you see a lot of examples as well already in our company, like Serbia, the new walkthrough with 3 restaurants in there, 3 food and beverage units. We see also a lot of digital innovations, the Club Avolta, we just talked about it. So you see a lot of movements on that as well.
Can you provide key insights on Avolta's Destination 2027 strategy for growth in EMEA, particularly focusing as it does on long-term relationships?
Yeah, I would like to repeat what our group CEO Xavier Rossignol also said recently. I think with this merge of these 2 companies, we have a much broader scope. We're in 73 countries now. We have a geographical diversification, which also helps us to mitigate some challenges around the globe sometimes, but also it enables us to grow business in different markets as well. But the key for us is long-term partnerships. Everybody knows in the industry, we renewed our concessions in Spain for 12 years, a long-term contract. We have some other great examples. We have long-term relationships, like Schiphol Airport is one of them. And that's really what we are looking for and aiming for. Strategic growth, maybe sometimes also some bolt-on acquisitions where possible. And on the other hand, also long-term partnerships. I think that's the key for our success for the future.
I mean, the combined business is just 2 years young, as it were. Has the 2 very distinctive cultures of each respective business been fully integrated yet?
Peter, very frankly speaking, fully integrated, I'm not sure what always fully integrated means. But we have different people and different cultures. But I think what really helped that we have a combined name now, Avolta, so it's not 2-3 or Autogrill anymore, or HMS House. So that really helps that people identify each other with the same company. And on the other hand, also we're seeing that already see a lot of career opportunities for people in our company. And our motto is internal first. But more importantly is we will continue to have food and beverage people running food and beverage, and retail people running retail. Back of the house, of course, is a different story with HR, with training, but also finance, accounting. Of course, it's logical that you combine and find much more synergies. But we truly believe that in operations, the retailers run retail and the food and beverage people run food and beverage.
But so mutually exclusive, but under one ethos as an umbrella.
Yes, correct. But we also see in geographical areas, we have one country head or regional head, may run 2 businesses, but they have specialized people in order to run the business.
Okay, let's move on. So what trends are you seeing in passenger preferences in food and beverage right now? Has anything surprised you?
No, I think not at all. I think people want to have great food for affordable prices. And you have different types of passenger needs at different moments. Of course, I always say you have, let's say, 5 to 10 minute concepts, 10, 15 minutes to 20 minute concepts, and 40 minutes concept plus, where you have different propositions, but also maybe different brands as well. When we deal with airports, we always analyze the airports on itself and the passenger profile. Since we are dealing with, globally, every year we have 2.3 billion passengers in our facilities. So you can't have the cookie-cutter approach where you do everything everywhere the same.
That's right.
Having said this also there's a lot of emphasis on healthy sustainability, so we do a lot of effort on that. But on the other hand, personally I believe like ever favorites like great Italian food or great hamburger will never die. So I don't see a big shift immediately. And as you see in many things in the world and in other areas as well, it's a gradual shift. But no surprises for me at the moment. What I do see is that people really want to know what they eat. You are what you eat. So food is becoming your inner cosmetic. I want to emphasize on that. But also people want to know what's in the food and what it does for their body. It doesn't necessarily mean that we become all holy and we eat and drink only very healthy. But as long as you know what it does, you can balance the different needs, and sometimes you can also be a little bit off-grid and enjoy a couple of glasses of wine without feeling too guilty too. Huh?
Yeah, I think the balance is pivotal to the success. Okay, you recently secured a great 10-year contract for 17 outlets for food and beverage at Cologne-Bonn Airport. How different will they be in transforming the passenger experience there? I mean, as part of this question, what lessons have you learned from your other European operations that you may plan to be implementing there?
Yeah, I think first we're very thankful with this big contract for us in Germany, where we become more or less by far the biggest operator at Cologne Airport, except of a couple of units, to be honest. And there also we applied the same rule what I said before, the mix between international brands, but also local brands and local concepts. But also we looked very closely at the demographics. For instance, Cologne-Bonn Airport has a lot of charter flights to Turkey, for instance. So there we also put a Simit-Serai concept, a really Turkish concept, in the portfolio. But we also have a Burger King, we also have a Frühbier Spät, where we really serve Kölsch beer, the really traditional beer from Cologne. And then I don't know how well you know Germany, but the beer culture is very, very sensitive as well. So we want to be playing a part there as well. So really the mix of the concepts, I think, will enhance the passenger perception. And we already opened 2 units, an espresso house and a small grab and go. Starting in November, we'll start developing a couple of more units, and I hope, the planning is that in March next year we are done with all the 17 units, and then you really can judge what the total picture will be. The first results, of course, 2 small units, or 1 small unit and 1 bigger unit, results are very encouraging. What we learned from other airports and what we bring to Cologne is that we are used to also to take over companies and start up new operations. So by German law, to give you an example, we need to take over all the staff, which is absolutely fine for us. So then you need to onboard them and to I call them, infect them with your company philosophy, and infect I mean positively, the company philosophy, and make them part of your DNA as well, since in the end in our hospitality business, people are the most crucial ones. And then we, of course, need to onboard them and provide them career opportunity. On the other hand, what we learned, and we continuous learning, is to start up operations, how we deal with brands, how we deal with concepts, and how we do a seamless transition of the business.
Let's look now at some of your digital initiatives, including the order and pay systems that you're introducing to enhance efficiency for time-pressed passengers. Tell us more.
Yeah, but if you look at our business at the moment, you have different needs and different passengers as well. Huh? So our ambition is that also Destination 27 is to become much more consumer-centric. And in the end, if you say this, you need to listen to the consumer as well. And I think what we also learned during COVID and afterwards, that older generations across the board, they are not afraid to use digital technologies. And we have of course the self-order kiosk, which is a quite simple example. And there we see the average check on ordering on self-service is higher than like in the past at the cash register. On the other hand, we see also we have a program which is Job, Your Order Please, where people can sit at the table, they order, and we bring the food and they can pay. And in these programs enables the passengers to be the master of their own time, so they can control their own time. And what I believe personally in life is there's one thing we can't regain as humans, it's time. So we need to enable the people to control the time, and some people feel comfortable with that and others not, but we give the passenger the choice to do the right things.
Sustainability is on top of most companies' agendas right now. What sustainability actions have you taken as a company, and what further initiatives are you planning on taking?
Now, ESG is part of our 4 pillars in the Destination 27, but aside of that, we're already doing a lot of things. So, for instance, in Schiphol Airport, we signed a sustainability agenda with the airport, where we want to reduce and get carbon-free in food and beverage in 2030, as an example. But aside of the global things, we do also a lot of things locally. since they also can make a big impact. So reducing food miles. Also give an example that we work with our distributors to use electric vehicles for the supply, waste management. We reuse coffee trap to bring it somewhere else to grow vegetables on it, but also to, for instance, take back the skin of the oranges to make tabletops or panels to recycle them and have a circular economy. So that's one part. What we also say as a company, wherever possible, we want to reuse materials when we rebuild new units as well. So I think, and I will come to that later maybe on as well, I think we really need to be mindful that we only have this one planet and we need to be very cautious about it.
One final question, Walter, and I guess I ask this of everybody I interview. If there are three things that you wanted to communicate to the industry right now, what would they be?
The first, and now I do promotion for our company, if you don't have the Avolta Club app yet, download it and become a member, which gives a lot of benefits moving forward in the future.
I shouldn't have asked the question.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know, that's the obvious one. I hope you excuse me that I do some promotion here. The second, I think, is I really want that we collaborate more together as an industry, between landlords, our brands, our brand partners, and we as companies as well. Since I said before, we need to increase the pie, and I think there's still a lot of room for to increase, and in the end to make from non-buyers buyers. I think that's one part as well. And we as a company prepare to take to use innovations, to take some new ideas, etc., etc. But in the end, we only as good as we've been allowed, as good as we are, since we're in a concession environment. And thirdly, and that's more on a personal note, is I think we not only have a duty, but we have an obligation to leave this planet at least in the same state, or preferably in a better state behind for the next generation. I said this before, we only have one planet, and I think that's something on my agenda very high.
Good stuff, Walter. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate it.